Pearsall's running the routes that Aiyuk runs. So what's going to happen when Aiyuk returns?
And how quickly can Aiyuk return to being Aiyuk too? Not just get on the field again, but actually look good. I think we're all correctly assuming it's probably going to take a while, and he may not ever get back to that this year, if ever at all, to be honest. We could be wrong, though. Maybe he comes back and he looks great. I don't know. It's possible. We've seen guys do.
I mean, we can run a fact or fiction that if Pearsall continues to do this, Aiyuk should not get that role back in the offense. He should have to figure out something else. I say that, but Pearsall is the one that I think makes more sense in the slot. Aiyuk is not a slot receiver. He is somebody that getting off the line and being unorthodox to get separation is a big reason why he's so good. It's not, ooh, I ran a slant and I'm really good at it. It's his downfield cuts and things like that. Like Pearsall, if I'm not mistaken, was a slot receiver a lot in college. And yet, if Pearsall's on pace for like 1,600 yards, you don't necessarily want to disrupt that.
It's an interesting question. I mean, and are you saying like even if Aiyuk returned to full strength Aiyuk, assume for the purposes of
the thing is how do you know if he's full strength if he's not running
right
what he does best? That's what I'm saying. Like when he returns, you're either not going to give Aiyuk a true shot, or you're bumping Ricky Pearsall from something that he's been incredibly productive in. Like you have to make that choice.
I'm a big believer in, how I am, right? If you're on a streak and you think you're on that streak because you're not wearing any underwear, you are, right? If you think you're on that streak because you haven't shaved in a week and a half, you are. Just leave it alone. If it ain't broken, don't fix it. Pearsall looks incredible this year. He looks friggin' amazing. I don't know why you would want to change that, to be honest. Keep Pearsall wide receiver 1. Don't put as much on Brandon Aiyuk's plate, right? If he's, working his way back from the injury, don't ask him to be Superman. Ask him to be Booster Gold if you're a comic book fan. If you're not a comic book fan, you have no idea what I'm talking about. But, you know what I'm saying? Let Brandon Aiyuk be wide receiver 2 this year. You drafted Pearsall for a reason, and every time you put more on his plate, he responds exactly the way you would hope. So I'd be totally fine with that.
It will be interesting to see because I think Aiyuk is really good in that role, and I don't necessarily envision him being very good in the other roles. Like he's not. I don't think he's great at slants and the shorter routes. Like that is not his cup of tea. I think probably the way you do it is when he does come back, you kind of let them split that role. And if Aiyuk seems to be back, then maybe you start working him more and more into that role and letting Pearsall figure out the other role. And if Aiyuk doesn't look good, then you start going the other way and you start phasing him kind of out of the offense.
Sleeper is the #1 fantasy sports app. It pays to know sports. Pick more or less on top players. Your first pick is on us, so start winning now. Play in Texas, Georgia, Minnesota, and 27 more states. Pick anytime across all sports, pregame or live. Over 10 million players are already on Sleeper. Make your picks count. Score up to 1,000 times your cash. Join today. Get up to $100 credit using code GSPE. Call your shot on Sleeper. Download now.
Well, God knows they would love to trade him if they could. But if you put Pearsall in the slot, who's your other receiver out wide? You can't put Jennings out there.
You got Robinson. You got Jennings is playing that other role a lot. I know he does slot too. You got Bourne. And if Watkins ever gets back, you can see what he does. I think they have plenty of options.
Strawberry React says you can run 4 wide receiver sets with Pearsall, Aiyuk, Jawan Jennings, and Demarcus Robinson. Be interesting. I wouldn't mind it once in a while. There's no reason.
I'll believe it when I see it.
There's no reason you can't do that some of the time, right? There's ways to do it for sure. But also, I don't want Jennings on the field over George Kittle. I don't want Jennings on the field over a Christian McCaffrey. Say if you were to go 5 wide, I guess you could put McCaffrey in one of the receiver spots if you wanted to, so you don't really have to choose. But Jawan Jennings has a place on this team, but I don't want him taking away significant snaps and opportunities from any of the other guys their other offensive playmakers, maybe even including Demarcus Robinson. I'm really interested to see Robinson in the offense. He looked good in the preseason. He's just a solid veteran player. I don't think he's going to be a superstar, but he's dude, last week, I mean, they were Sky Moore and MVS are out there running routes in the 2-minute drive, got to have it drive. Like, no, man, you got to have somebody out there that's a legitimate threat. And Demarcus Robinson is that.
Who do you cut if everybody stays healthy and Aiyuk returns?
MVS.
Yeah,
Or
that's my
Sky,
opinion.
MVS or Sky Moore.
Sky Moore is doing the return duties. MVS is not doing anything for this offense. One, Kyle doesn't really run. MVS is, here's a go route.
Cardio. That's what he does.
Yeah, like Kyle doesn't do go routes a ton.
I agree. Benali says Pearsall's separation stats aren't anything special. His expected catch percentage is good, not great. Aiyuk was blowing other wide receivers out of the water on those metrics. That's true. He was separating more. But remember, the separation statistics are only counted on passes on which the guy is targeted. So if you blow your if you crush somebody off the line of scrimmage, but the quarterback doesn't throw to you for whatever reason, that doesn't get counted. I don't know. I just, at this point, I have way more faith in Ricky Pearsall, who's on the field doing it this year, as opposed to Brandon Aiyuk, who's entirely hypothetical because we don't know about that knee.
And I mean, it was a really bad knee injury. It's not a Nick Bosa where, he barely tore it.